How's it going, guys? This is Jacob with H.I.T with another video, and today we're going to be doing shoulders and arms. Going to start out with some seated dumbbell lateral raises. We're going to start off with 25 pounds, you'll see here, but a little further into the video, once I get done with this set, I'm going to drop down to 20s, which typically is something I don't do, but I just didn't like how this set turned out. Just didn't feel right. So I ended up dropping the 25s and picking up the 20s to get a more proper set, if that makes any sense. I mean, it looks like I'm doing everything I need to right here, but it just didn't feel right. Maybe I should have just went ahead and stuck with what I had, but it's no problem. I just felt like I was using too much momentum, maybe, was the thought. But anyway, we'll drop the 25s, we'll pick up the 20s, and you can see me shake my head there like I was disappointed in the set. But we'll pick up the 20s, and we're shooting for 6 to 10 reps to failure here. Each set today is going to be to failure, like always. And once we complete these dumbbell lateral raises, we're going to move on to front raises with 20-pound dumbbell, and then rear delt flies or bent over dumbbell laterals with 20 pounds. But yep, I feel like I was more in control on this set, maybe. Either way, last time we did shoulders, I did, I think, 13 or 14 reps with the 20s, but I was eating quite a bit there for a few days, so I think that might have played a part in it. I was fueled up pretty good. Now we're eating at a deficit, so I'm not going to be able to do that, obviously. But so right there, we just reached a point of failure. Tried to get another rep, couldn't, but we're going to go ahead and put these 25s up. We'll move on to front raises with the 20-pound dumbbells. And I like to do single arm instead of both arms. I've done both arms at one time before. It just feels like I sway a little too much when I use both arms, so I like to do it individually. Just take a little bit of a rest here, kind of catch my breath, and move straight on to the front raises. And you'll see I'm going about level with my shoulder right now, but here in a minute I'm going to start going up higher, and which I'm not sure if there's any benefit to going up any higher than being even with the shoulder, but I saw Dorian Yates do it in a video right there where I'm going up pretty high, higher than even with the shoulder. So hey, I emulate a lot of things that Dorian, I've seen him doing his videos. That's what we're doing anyway, is high intensity training, which I get from Mike Mentzer and some things from Dorian Yates. As long as it's high intensity training, then I'll grab onto it, and sometimes I'll roll with it. because I figure I can't go wrong. That's what we're doing here. That's the name of the channel, is Hit Stop, High Intensity Training Stop. So I can't lose going high intensity training along those lines. So I pick up on things here and there, little gems and jewels that I see in some of Dorian's clips. And we're just about reached a point of failure here. Shooting for 6 to 10 reps to failure for all 3 shoulder exercises. So I can't even remember how many reps I just did right here, or for the lateral raises. But the important thing is we went to failure. And so now we'll catch our breath for a second and move on to bent over dumbbell laterals, or you could call them rear delt flies. Either way, we're targeting the rear delts here. So for the lateral raises, we were targeting the side delts. Front raises, we're targeting the front delts. And these rear delt flies, we're targeting the rear delts. I used to do shoulder presses. I quit doing those because I get some shoulder stimulation with the bench press. So until maybe we start eating in a surplus, I might start doing shoulder presses again then. I'm not quite sure. But right now I'm doing fairly well with just doing these 3 basic exercises. And so with all of my exercises, you see I don't use any momentum with these here and the dumbbell laterals. According to Mike Mentzer in the book High Intensity Training the Mike Mentzer Way, you can use a little momentum on these just because of the physics of the movement, especially this one right here. But if you get to the top and you can hold it, then lower it under control, that's where you want to be. So I give it a little bit of a bump to get it up, and then hold for a second or two, and then drop it down under control. So once we reach a point of positive failure here, we're going to move on to biceps. We're just going to do 2 sets for biceps. It's going to be 7 sets or 8 sets total for the workout. 3 for shoulders, 2 for biceps, 3 for triceps. There we go. Positive failure. Move on to biceps now. Let's do a little bicep exercise now. We'll do 2 of them. I've already done my warm-up sets for the biceps. I did 2 sets of concentration curls for warm-ups. This is going to be the working set, the only, working set, 1 set to failure. I've got a 30-pound dumbbell here, and just controlled throughout the movement. Hold for a second or 2 at the top, lower under control. Shooting for 6 to 10 reps of failure here. Nothing fancy. Just controlling the weight. Not jerking or moving around a whole lot to get the weight up. Just focusing on using the bicep here. I should mention for the shoulders, when I did my warm-ups, which I didn't include in the video either, but so for my shoulders I did 3 warm-up sets of seated dumbbell laterals. So that first exercise you've seen in the video, that's what I did for warm-ups with lighter weight. And just about reached a point of failure here on the right arm. And there we go. So that's all of it. Just set the weight down. It's good enough for the right right arm, move on to the left arm, go to a point of failure, and that'll be it for the concentration curls. We'll move on to a set of barbell curls after that. I believe I end up getting the same amount of reps on the left arm as I do the right arm. Every once in a while, one of them will outperform the other, but they're pretty much seem to be pretty much right there on par with each other. Or maybe I'm just not pushing myself hard enough, I don't know. But again, positive failure. What I mean by positive is just until you can't lift a weight anymore. It's not really a complicated matter. It's just to go to a point where you cannot lift a weight anymore. So after this rep, probably I'd say we've probably reached a point of positive failure. But you must try that last rep at least to know that you can't get another positive rep. So there we go with positive failure on the concentration curls. We'll move on to barbell curls. Here we go with the second set for biceps, which is going to be the final set. For this set, we picked 70 pounds total, so 45-pound bar and 25 pounds worth of weights on the bar. It's not a lot of weight, but when you're not thrusting and jerking the weight around and just using the muscle, then you find out that maybe you ain't as bad as what you thought you were, which I've had to humble myself to that fact on some of these exercises when I started doing this high intensity training, just focusing on using the muscle and not cheating, which there is a time and place for the cheating when you're trying to do forced reps, but you find out real quick when you start using the muscle for which the exercise is actually intended for, that you might need to lower the weight a little bit on some exercises. It's kind of a humbling feeling, but I think it's a necessary move and a necessary feeling. And again, we're shooting for 6 to 10 reps to failure here. So for every exercise we've done up to this point, it's been 6 to 10 reps to failure. When we move on to the triceps, it's going to change a little bit. And there we go. Can't go no more. So that's the end of it. Now we're done with biceps. We'll move on to triceps. 3 total sets. Shoulders, biceps are complete. Now we're ready to do triceps. I've already done 3 warm-up sets, which I didn't include, but I did 3 warm-up sets of close grip bench press. You see there in the background, I've got the barbell set up with 2 45-pound plates. So this is going to be a superset here. We've got the easy curl bar, which weighs about 22 pounds or so. And we've got a 25-pound plate on each side. So I guess that would be roughly 72 pounds, somewhere in that area. And these are skull crushers. So as you can see, I've got my elbows just a little bit more towards the top of my head than I do straight out or straight up in front of me. That's another little tip that I got from Dorian. But we're going to shoot for 6 to 10 reps to failure here. And I said that the triceps, the rep ranges were going to change a little bit it's going to be 6 to 10 for this, but when we move on to the close grip bench press here in just a second, it's going to be 3 to 5 reps. And this is a superset, so immediately after I get done with these skull crushers, it's going to be right on to the close grip bench press. And that's it. Now, as efficiently as we can, we'll move the bench up underneath the barbell and do the close grip bench press. That's 135 here. I did 140 on the last workout and only did 2 reps. My rep range is 3 to 5, so I lowered the weight 5 pounds. And that first rep there, you see, looks like I pushed the weight up pretty quick. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that I was going to get the weight up, so I wanted to at least get 1 rep, but after that first rep, I slowed it down a little bit, realized that I could push through. But we get 3 reps total here, I think. That was the last one. Yeah, 3 reps, couldn't do a 4th one. So we reached the point of positive failure on both exercises there. Now we're going to move on to dips with a 20-pound weighted vest, and that'll conclude the workout. If I can get up underneath from the bar. One more set and that's going to do it. 20-pound weighted vest, dips, shooting for 3 to 5 reps to failure here. Controlled throughout the movement. Trying to emphasize the triceps here, trying to keep the elbows tucked in, kind of like with the close grip bench press. Instead of flaring the elbows out, try to keep them tucked in as much as I can. Before this video ends, before I get cut off, thank you guys for watching. We reached over 200 subscribers on YouTube. We just hit 100 followers on TikTok. If you're just passing through, go check out TikTok, which is H.I.T. YouTube is H.I.T 98. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And go check out the channel purpose video on TikTok and also YouTube. And thank you guys for watching. Check out the other exercise videos. I'll see you in the next one.